Hello citizens of Tokusatsu Central, I'm Jared Rand, and today we're going to be continuing our review of the DX X Emperor set. Now I'm doing this in a different location because I needed a little bit more space for the combination, and I think I might be continuing to use this location as well because it gives me natural light, a lot of it in fact, or actually a lot of just straight up light, not even natural light, but there is natural light up there. So I think I might be using this location from now on. So today we're going to be focusing on all of the combinations. The one with Lupinranger and Patranger, as well as the overall combination of everything, and the X-Emperor combination itself. So we might as well just jump right into it. So we're going to first off begin with the first combination seen in the show, known as Lupinranger Trains, which will include your buddy Good Striker, and the Red Dial Fighter. So, might as well begin the transformation. All you need to do, just gonna set this guy off to the side, gonna bring this boy up into the forefront. Now what you're gonna do, just flip out these two side things, whatever they are. Once again, I don't exactly know what they are. Gonna flip these down to the side, and then flip out the little wing bit. Do the same sort of thing with this guy, but flip out its trail-ish sort of thing. Flip out the peg down there, and fold that out. And then do your standard transformation stuff with Good Striker. Press the button, pull that out, fold those out, flip down the red things. Gonna move up the camera a bit so you can see the rest of Good Striker. Of course, fold down the top right there. And then you're going to take Red Dial Fighter, fold it down into position as standard for the line. Place him on top. There you go. And then place, yeah, this is a little bit tricky. Silver onto the side, or actually Thunder on the right and Fire on the left. And there you have Lupinranger Trains. It's, not that great in my opinion. The lanky arms kind of really ruin the form for me because it kind of doesn't meld well with the rest of the aesthetics of the line. I guess that's mostly because the trains are actually scaled differently to size than with Lupinranger and all of the other machines, but I'm pretty sure that's mostly for the big combination in the end. But it's kind of a sacrifice almost, as if they're using different types of scaling for just one combination when they should have just rescaled everything from the start. So the scaling doesn't necessarily work here. Of course, going in and using the Ichigo trigger machine or trigger machine Ichigo, fairly simple. Just switch out the head right there, fold that out, place that on the top, and then fold up those right there, and here you have Patranger Trains, which isn't that different, but honestly I prefer the look overall. I do think the colors meld a little bit better. Thunder still looks very out of place when compared to Fire and the entire rest of it, so I don't think the combination with Good Striker and the other trigger machines and dial fighters works out as well as the X-Emperor combination. Speaking of which, I think it's about time we do the X-Emperor transformation. And of course, as standard, with Fire, flip out the two little side things. Do the same thing with Thunder, flip out that, and then put that off to the side, or put Fire off to the side, and then connect Thunder to the end of Silver, and then Fire to the end of Gold. And now, here's where things start getting a little unwieldy. I'm going to move the camera angle up so you can see everything a little bit better. We're going to take Silver and place it inside of Gold, very much like so. And you have basically a big ol' X formation with the giant set. I'm going to take off this right here. This is the head for everything. It's kind of multi-purpose sort of thing. VSX, of course, Next, you're going to use the joint in the middle to fold these together, and then one click for both of the legs, flip them up, and they create full-on legs. We're going to move on to the rest of the mecha. Going to take the arms and fold them down, and then flip out the two little side things. Of course, fold this to the side, and then press the button and push this back. And then finally, place the head using the clips on the back. Fold that, of course, and then fold the other head to the back. And here we have our completed mecha. This is X-Emperor Slash. I kind of enjoy the aesthetic. It's a little bit interesting. The idea of placing the giant-ass trigger on the side is a little bit unwieldy. Doesn't really work. But the rest, I do feel the gold and the silver flows very well together. The thing is, you need to have evenly distributed gold and silver all over the toy. And I feel as though this kind of complements that. Kind of putting the silver in the forefront for this mode, and then gold in the forefront of the next mode. But I overall do kind of enjoy the aesthetic, and just going to move in here, take a quick look at the head. The head itself isn't that bad. Of course, the silver and blue very much complements each other. Same thing in the way that X-Train Silver does, and the little implications of a hat right there are interesting. I'm also a little weirded out by the fins on the side, but that's okay by me. And the little neck down there are pretty nice. So overall, I feel as though the silver and the gold definitely complements each other well. Okay, so moving on from there, of course, and I forgot to mention the little X right there. That's kind of a nice inclusion. I enjoy that. I like it. Moving on from there, we're going to go into the Patranger formation, or the formation known as X-Emperor, shit, I forgot the name. X-Emperor Gunner. That's right, X-Emperor Gunner. I used to think it was X-Emperor Gatler. I thought that was a better name because of the gun, but whatever. So what you're going to do, you're going to take the little thing back here, press it forward, take the head off, of course, and then flip it into its Patranger configuration. Fold down the flaps on the side, of course, and fold this down to its side and flip it out using the button on the bottom. And then you're going to bring these up and do the same thing you did for the legs on the bottom. Fold them like that and spin the entire thing right onto there. In the show, it actually does a cartwheel, which is what I think kind of contributes to this design. Fold down the arms, same way you did with X-Emperor Slash, and then fold out these little things on the side, and finally peg in the head right there. And the head is actually a little bit tall, so here we have X-Emperor Gunner. The decision to have a giant gun stick off of it is a little bit problematic. I'm glad they had wide enough feet in order for the entire design to be able to hold this thing up. But still, you can see it's leaning. It's clearly leaning. Which I think is a major issue with the toy, is that its design doesn't complement well to this size of a toy. Or how do I put this? The design doesn't complement very well to the actual toy. I think if they scaled this down a little bit more, it would work, but then we wouldn't have such a big gun mode for the X-Changer itself. So I do feel as though that's a little bit of an issue. Otherwise, I do enjoy the mode. I enjoy its blockier aesthetic that works well with the Patrangers, and the head itself looks very nice, of course. Let me just zoom in a little bit to get you the full picture right there. Look at that thing. Look at it. It's beautiful. Of course, some of the details on this, like these little dots around the head, are actually supposed to be silver. But I'm glad they got some silver detailing like they did right here, 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 and here. And the X, of course, I enjoy the X theme all around the toy, and I feel like it's very nice and very appropriate. And my cat just joined in on the scenario. This is wonderful. Okay. This is going to be problematic. But yeah, overall the design is okay, but I don't think it lends very well to a toy of this size. But you know what that means? We get to move on to my personal favorite form, the big ol' clusterfuck form of the entire line, because we're not getting it at the end. I'm sorry, I can't control it. And yeah, what you see, that's a cattail over there. We're gonna do the big combination with a name that sounds like it came straight out of Korea. Good Cool Kaiser VSX. And in order to do that, we're gonna need to bring this back to its standard form. Flip these down to the side, pull this off. Flip that all the way up to the top, and then pull off Silver, or Thunder and Fire. They all look the same. Flip this down to the side and press the button over here and push it down. Flip that out. Flip that down. Push this out of the gaping hole in gold, and then place this as almost a crest. So, we're gonna do this the standard clusterfuck way in Super Sentai, with a clusterfuck of an organization assembly. Guess what? Guess what we have? The Red Dial Fighter. Trigger Machine Songo. Yeah. The Blue Dial Fighter. The Yellow Dial Fighter. Trigger Machine Nigo. Guess what? Trigger Machine Ichigo. And Good Striker. Yeah, I'm gonna just put that right there. So with all these together, you're going to be able to make Good Cool Kaiser VSX. I did not make up the name. I swear. Good Cool Kaiser VSX. How does that sound? Alright, we're going to move that off to the side and then bring in Good Striker. Bring it into the Lupinranger formation. Of course. Standard stuff at this point. Now, I'm going to push a couple of these off to the side. I'm going to take Thunder, fold that out, and bring this blue piece out to the top. Bring it to the side. Now, I'm going to take Songo, push this out there. Sorry, I have other cats in the room. And you're going to plug these into there. Very simple. Songo, of course, over there, and fold these out. Do the same thing. Flip out that little thing and plug that in. And now what you're going to do is you're going to stand this guy on top and clip these into the side. Like so. Do the same thing on the other side. And there you go. We're going to move this up a little bit just so you can see everything, get everything scaled up. Now, our next step is very simple. Just focus the camera. There we go. Bring this big boy over to us. Now, what we do is we fold out these wings. We're going to fold out the wings. Remember that. Take off the head as standard. Now, oh my. This is what I love about clusterfuck forms. You're going to take Silver right here, spin this to the back, flip that out, fold the elbow, and flip the clip to the side. And now, we are going to take the tabs on the side of Good Striker. This is the most difficult part to look at. And clip it in. And there you go. Now it's an arm. You're going to do the same thing with Gold. Flip it out. Flip this to the side. Let me get a little bit more room with the camera. There we go. That's better. Sort of. Not really. Pinky Goral is getting to be problematic. So we're going to take this and clip it into the side, same way we did with the other guy. I'm going to take the trigger, actually, and bring it to the back. There's a clip on the back of Silver that allows that to go in. Right there. Clip that in. That's how that works. Now, going to take Yellow, spin the dial, flip that down, basically put it in an arm mode with the arm bent. Flip down the silver bit on the side of gold. Let me just bring that out. And yes, there's the cattail. Place that on there. And then with blue, do the same thing, arm mode. And bring that over there. Now I like to fold up the Gatling gun. That's just a me preference. And now we're going to take the head, place it there, and then place red right there, and it just kind of falls into place. There you go. And then finally take the Trigger Machine Ichigo and place it right on the top. And now to get this all into frame is a huge issue. I'm going to get this down, I swear. Say hello to Good Cool Kaiser VSX. Now there's actually a noise that goes along with this. Just going to pull out the tab. Sorry about that. And here we go. So there you go. There you have Good Cool Kaiser VSX. Once again, I swear I didn't come up with the name. Now, as standard with the line, the head is very hard to see, so I'm going to just zoom in and try to show you the head. Of course, it ain't that bad of a head, I swear. There you go. You see? There it is. I like the little inclusion of the V, S, and X with the head basically molded into that design, which is very cool. Now, to address the elephant in the room, the size. It's very, very hefty. Very hefty. I enjoy the strange proportions of this and the weird placement of all of the mecha. I like how it's a big clusterfuck. Of course, this is my first ever big clusterfuck that I can make because well, sort of. I got most of the Kyuranger stuff, but that didn't really, yeah, that didn't work out well. Because I didn't get the Orion Voyager, but I didn't really want the Orion Voyager. To put it into perspective, this thing is massive. It's huge, and I love it. Oh boy. Here's one of the issues with the toy that many people have been getting, but I haven't necessarily got it as bad as some of the others. The clips on the legs are not the tightest connection. I don't know, there's some way that you can keep that on there, but it's a little bit unwieldy, and let's be honest here, the Trigger Machines and Dial Fighters really only count as accessories, when all you really need for the combination are the X-Emperor stuff and Good Striker. That's all you need. So everything else is just glorified accessories. But I love that. It's the uselessness of everything else, and I love it. The point of a clusterfuck is for it to make no sense whatsoever. And I love it. The arms, of course, the only articulation you get is a swivel side to side, arm bend right there, or elbow bend, and the arms can go up and down as such. But I love it. I love it. Alright? I love the absolute, just balls to the wall insanity that this form creates. And I think that justifies the purchase enough. I think it's about time we do our final thoughts, because this form is insane. There's no reasoning for these to be up here, but they are up here, and apparently they act as 2 extra sets of arms. Yeah, they do. They act... I'm not... Alright, sorry about that, guys. The power in my house went out. So, yeah, we might as well go on to my final thoughts. So, overall, the DX X Emperor set, it's a lot of X's, is a really, really fun toy. Actually, kind of standing on its own if you just get this set, or just get the Lupin and Pato X stuff. It really works as its own set. Of course, these don't have any functionality outside of the mecha form, but let's be honest here, a lot of earlier Sentai mechs had mech that only had purpose to the combination itself. So, I mean, this doesn't really count as a complaint, more or less just
a nitpick, it overall works. I enjoy the designs. I like how weird they are. It doesn't really lend well to the size, but once again, I enjoy the actual designs as well. And Good Cool Kaiser VSX is probably my favorite mecha of the year. Yeah, Kyuranger, get it. I feel as though the combining of the really weird aspects and just the overall clusterfuck feeling of it is just so much fun. So, in my opinion, especially with the changer noises as well, I feel like this is a worth it toy. So, yeah, I honestly think this is worth paying over $100 for. It doesn't go for $100 depending on where you go, or it doesn't. Yeah, depending on where you go, it doesn't necessarily go for $100. Sometimes it can go for 70 or 80, but I got it for around 100. So I honestly think this is a worthwhile pickup. So thank you guys for watching. Like if you enjoyed the video that much, subscribe if you want to see more, and comment if you want to ask any questions about the actual toy. You can check out my Instagram, rand.jared. Maybe check out my other YouTube channel, Jared the Collector New, but it's ending soon, possibly. So, thank you guys for watching, and yeah, I will see my fellow citizens of Tokusatsu Central next time when I review the DX Kamen Rider Go Jiku Driver.